Mayweather's going to run around the ring like he always does.
Spoken like someone who doesn't understand boxing.
How many people...
You're supposed to let someone hit you?
Oh, you're a boxing expert all of a sudden?
Yeah, I have 2 world champions in my family. I've been watching since I could walk.
Big boxing expert over
I actually
here.
am.
How many... Oh, my gosh. How many knockouts has Mayweather had?
He hasn't had any recently. I mean, in the beginning...
Because he runs.
He's also not a heavyweight, which you're going to see less knockouts, and he's not that type of fighter. He's a defensive fighter.
He's a running fighter.
Early in his career, he knocked out plenty of people.
He's a running fighter.
Okay.
That's what he is.
So in football, you're going to say, hey, Andrew, stop running out of bounds. Let everybody tackle you, Andrew Luck.
That is completely
not
different.
It's pretty okay.
Well, I wouldn't go as far to say that UFC is bigger than boxing because it isn't, because a bigger boxing fight is going to do much bigger numbers than a bigger UFC or MMA bout will any day.
Is that true?
Absolutely. I mean, just look at the last big boxing fight. You had Canelo, and before that you had Pacquiao Mayweather. I mean, people come out and watch the big boxing fights. It's just that the bottom of boxing is less than the bottom of MMA. So you have the Fox prelim cards for UFC and stuff on Fight Pass that do well for middling bouts. But the top stuff, it's going to be boxing. They just don't give you a lot of it. Boxing's not very well ran. There's no central figure like there is, NBA or NFL or UFC. It's just everything is so spread out. There's a bunch of different titles, but there's interest there. Absolutely.
I would have to see the numbers on that. I don't know if I 100% agree with that. UFC has got.
If you haven't seen the numbers, why would you just assume that UFC is bigger?
Just because, how many people do you hear talking about boxing? Not that many.
We're talking about it right now.
Because of a UFC fighter.
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about it because Floyd Mayweather. That's why we're talking about it.
Besides Floyd, what else is there?
It doesn't matter.
He's always going to attract an
besides
audience.
Conor, who else is there
people
in UFC?
People love to hate Floyd.
Besides Conor, who else in UFC is worth you seeing?
Well, you got John Jones.
He's not fighting right now.
All his drama, though. That's not interesting.
He's not a fighter.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a huge UFC guy. I'm not claiming to be, but I know way more people that enjoy UFC over...
There's the thing. Oh, first of all, I'm going to say this is not booty. I mean, if you want to spend your money on entertainment, spend your money on entertainment. It doesn't matter what you want to watch. But there are a lot of people that just pretend to be UFC fans that really aren't. Just because people are talking about it, don't believe that they're going home and they're actually watching it and spending money on it. And boxing is a sport where it has an older audience, and it also has a brown and black audience that is bigger than UFC has. So I know you, and I'm not saying that you don't have a diverse group of friends, but the people that will be talking about boxing are different than the people that will be talking about UFC. It doesn't mean it's not being talked about. A lot of people that talk about boxing can't even speak English that you would not be hearing from. So boxing is still huge.
I'm not disagreeing with that as far as there's more black people interested in boxing than there is white people.
And brown.
But, anytime I ever go somewhere and watch a fight, there's plenty of black people there.
Yeah. Black people are going to sign up to watch a fight, though. It doesn't matter if it's a bub fight. Black people are going to want to watch it.
I don't know that I agree on this. I think UFC is bigger than boxing. I'd be interested in seeing the numbers.
UFC is not, nor will it ever be.
I don't know.
Bigger than boxing.
Boxing is dying.
Boxing just has to keep us fight. That's what people keep saying, but it keeps shattering records at all times. And guess what kind of match they're having? McGregor and Mayweather.
It's a boxing match.
Okay.
But that's because McGregor would kill.
And you think he's not going to get killed by Mayweather in a
McGregor would
match?
kill Mayweather in the octagon.
Okay. And he's going to get killed in a boxing ring.
We'll see.
That's not why they're doing a boxing match. They're doing a boxing match because there are more people that will watch that. If you did it the other way around.
No,
if you did
that's not true at
all.
all.
If you did it the other way around.
They are boxing because Mayweather will not go into an octagon.
Okay, but if they were to
McGregor is willing to box and Mayweather is not willing to fight.
He needs that exposure from that fan base, and he needs that money from that fan base because he cannot make it against anyone in UFC.
McGregor is so rich. He don't need the money.
Not even close to Mayweather. UFC fighters just started making good money in the last 2 years.
McGregor's loaded. He's not hurting for cash.
I didn't say he was hurting for cash, but he cannot tap the potential with money that he's going to make from UFC. He can't get close to that without
Mayweather's going to run around the ring like he always does.
Spoken like someone who doesn't understand boxing.
How many people...
You're supposed to let someone hit you?
Oh, you're a boxing expert all of a sudden?
Yeah, I have 2 world champions in my family. I've been watching since I could walk.
Big boxing expert over here.
I actually am.
How many... Oh, my gosh. How many knockouts has Mayweather had?
He hasn't had any recently. I mean, in the beginning,
because he runs.
He's also not a heavyweight, which you're going to see less knockouts, and he's not that type of fighter. He's a defensive fighter.
He's a running fighter.
Early in his career, he knocked out plenty of people.
He's a running fighter.
Okay.
That's what he is.
So in football, you're going to say, hey, Andrew, stop running out of bounds. Let everybody tackle you, Andrew Luck.
That is completely
Not different.
That is so different.
Not different at
You're
all.
comparing NFL quarterbacks to boxers.
No, I'm comparing strategy. Do you just let people hit you?
Oh my gosh.
This is what's wrong with this. Is why boxing's
you're a
not
fighter for a reason.
Okay.
Fighters are supposed
And guess
to
what
fight,
happened when
not
Conor
run.
McGregor did that? He got knocked out by Diaz.
Fighters are supposed to fight, not run.
Conor McGregor could not beat one of the, not even the best fighters in UFC when he tried to box with him.
I'm not saying that McGregor's a better boxer than Mayweather. I mean, he's willing to go over to his sport, though, and fight him his style.
Okay, average person.
Mayweather would never. He wouldn't stand a chance against McGregor.
He doesn't have to because he's that much bigger and more important. He doesn't have to do that.
No.
He doesn't have to do that. Who knows? Take someone's grandma. Which one would they be more interested in fighting? Just anyone's grandma. Which one would they be more interested in seeing? A boxing match or a UFC match?
UFC.
No.
You could kick. You can throw down. You can pick somebody up and slam them.
What's the base of UFC anyway?
What do you mean, what's the base?
You can go a whole UFC fight without watching anyone kick any or slam anybody.
It never happens.
What's it built off of?
It never. There's way more running in boxing than there is UFC.
I didn't say there wasn't. You
You're
see
saying
people
you
run.
can watch a
I've
whole
seen McGregor
UFC.
run.
You're saying that you can watch a whole UFC fight without somebody throwing a kick or whatever.
Yes, you can watch a whole UFC fight that is just boxing, depending on the styles.
Very far and few between.
I mean, it just depends on the styles of the fighter. Boxing is the reason UFC exists. Boxing and pro wrestling. That's what it is. It's combined.
Well, if Mayweather wins the fight,
right,
it's because he's running.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You can run and tell my city I'm on, I'm on, I'm on, I'm on, I'm on, I'm on. You can run and tell my city it's on.